Okay. I would like to call to order the January meeting of the Mount Hood Community College Board of Education. I declare a quorum for tonight's regular session with the following directors present: Diane Noriega.
Here.
Shatoya Bentley.
Here.
Will Miller.
Here.
Larry Morgan.
Here.
Mohammed Aljari. And Andrew Spear. I'm here. Approval of the agenda. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
We approve the agenda.
Moved by Diane. Second.
Second.
Second by Shatoya. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Next item is public input. For persons wishing to provide public comments who are attending in person, please sign up by completing the sign-in sheet with your name, name of the organization or group representative, if any, and a statement noting the agenda item or topic to be addressed to the board. The sign-in sheets are located at the table at the entrance to the meeting. For persons wishing to provide public comments via Zoom, we ask that you sign up by using the raise hand feature in Zoom. It's available at the bottom of your Zoom screen. When you are called to provide comments, please clearly state your full name, name of the organization or group represented, if any, and the agenda item or topic you wish to address to the board for the record. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes per person. As a reminder, the board will hear comments or objective criticism of college operations and programs, but comments about individual college personnel should be directed to the board chair or president outside of this meeting. We will now hear public input at this time. Roxanne, are there any sign-in sheets or hands raised? Mohammed, is there any other sign-in sheet items? No. Cheryl and Val? Cheryl, would you like to start us off? Or you can both come up and then Cheryl could start.
Pull this down?
Yes.
Touch this?
Yep.
All right. Well, hello. My name is Cheryl Johnson, and I'm here today as your 2026 full-time faculty bargaining chair. So I hope that you heard we had our first bargaining session yesterday, and we had called for a 6-hour bargaining session. So I really appreciate the college for agreeing to meet with us. For the first time in our history as an association, yesterday we passed all of the initial proposals that we are planning to make changes in. So that was a really big deal. We feel like it signifies our willingness to have a speedy and expedient bargaining process. We also offered weekly bargaining sessions, which will start next week, and we are appreciative that our college accepted. In the spirit of full transparency, I also wanted to share the list of bargaining priorities that we shared with our faculty. So these are the different bargaining priorities that we shared with our faculty. So you can see the issues that are important to faculty this year. I do definitely look forward to having a good bargaining process, and I hope that we are able to get this done quickly. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Cheryl. Val?
Hi. My name's Val.
Will you turn on the mic, please? Thank you.
Hello, my name's Val Gilbert. I'm one of the welding instructors here at Mount Hood Community College. I'd just like to take a couple minutes to promote our program and tell you that it's doing well. We've had a lot of students this year with a lot more trying to come in. The board has made it, or the foundation has suggested that you guys would like to come down and visit some of our areas. I would love to have you guys come down and interact with our students day or night. Our program's very strong and healthy and growing. And if there's any questions you guys would have of our program,
Lots of jobs out.
there's a lot of opportunities. The welding industry is very strong right now, especially in this area. We provide a vital part of the community as to giving our community members strong employment and healthy students that have a good sound base to be good community members, especially strong now with everything that's going on. We have a strong vessel program where the students are English as their second language. They're amazing people. They are very dedicated. It's amazing. I'm from here and English sometimes throws me a little bit. And these guys are trying to learn English and learn a new skill. We have a lot of high schoolers coming in that are learning that the trades are a vital part of our industry and strong community.
Awesome. Appreciate you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being here tonight. Thank you, Cheryl. All right, and no one else with online? Great, thank you. With that, public comment is now closed. Thank you, Cheryl and Val. Next item is reports, and Dr. Scar, do you have any correspondence to share?
I do. So January is School Board Recognition Month in Oregon, and we wanted to take this time to honor the elected volunteers who served on local boards, educational service district board, and community boards. And more importantly, I'd like to thank all of you for giving of your time and your energy to the critical work of budgeting, governance, and oversight, helping ensure Oregon's public education system, and more importantly, Mount Hood Community College, remains strong and responsive to the needs of our students and our community. So you are our superheroes, and I hope that this recognition, while it's small, right? We hope you do realize that it's not just today, but it's every day. We recognize the work you do. You give of your time, you guys have families, you have jobs, you have a lot of other places you could be, but you choose to spend your time on this board serving our students and serving our community. So thank you so much for that. And a small token of our appreciation, I'd like to present you with certificates. That this is our year of breakthroughs, as you recall, right? We're breaking ground, breaking bread, breaking barriers, and breaking through. There was one other. And we appreciate that. But Andrew, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, the keeper.
There you go. I know. This is so. Our communication is a marketing team. Beautiful. Please asking all to come up. Make sure.
Where would you want us?
Let's see. Oh, yeah. And Jill and Larry, sorry, but you get me your certificates next month.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
We'll Photoshop you in somehow.
Is that all?
And that is all.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Lisa. And thank you, just to my fellow board members for being on this journey on the board with me and for us as a collective. All right, next item is 6.2, receive comprehensive annual financial report by audit committee. And I'd like to invite Kristen Diggs to present the comprehensive annual financial report by the audit committee. And Kristen, go ahead when you're ready.
All right. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I have a little bit of a presentation. Let me see if I can share. Let's see. Okay. Do you guys see Mount Hood Community College in a picture?
Yes.
Okay. First off, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to present the audit report this year to you. As always, it's been another great year with the college. All the staff at the college that we work with have been absolutely awesome to work with. All my staff really enjoyed this audit every year as much as you can enjoy an audit. And so we really do appreciate everyone's help in getting through everything and making another successful audit. So with an audit, and I'll just talk about the audit process just super high level, but this is a process that we pretty much start a couple months after the prior year ends. So in the spring of 2025, we started planning for the current year audit. We look at the different programs that the college has going on, if there's been any significant changes in them, if there's been any, closeouts of federal programs, if there's been any new funding or anything like that as far as the financial statements go, and kind of build out our plan for what we're going to do for the current year audit. We do take a risk-based approach on both the single audit, which is the federal funds, and the financial statement audit. And so what that means is we're focusing heavily on where are the riskier areas that are inherent to public institutions such as Mount Hood? And we look at material dollar amounts, we look at different revenue streams, we're confirming balances, we're pulling a variety of sample documents. And based upon that, based upon analytics and everything, we're able to form opinions on the financial statements as well as through our testing through the federal funds, we can give an opinion on the single audit. So in the ACFR that you guys have, hopefully you've read it, but in the ACFR that you have, there are 4 separate opinions that we were able to issue as part of our testing that we performed in the current year. And so I'll go through each of those. I'll start with the federal funds testing or the single audit. So with the single audit testing that we did in the current year, we looked at 2 separate programs. We looked at the Head Start program and we looked at Student Financial Aid Assistance cluster. Student Financial Aid is probably going to be one of those programs that we take a look at every year just because of the sheer volume of dollars that are going through that program. We were able to issue an unmodified opinion on the single audit. One of the things, though, that we did have, and that's on pages 138 through 140 of your document. So it was a clean opinion as far as the federal funds testing goes. Based upon our testing over the student financial assistance cluster, though, we did have 3 findings that we were required to report. And they are findings 2025-001 through -003. The first 2 look like they're the same, but they're actually 2 different issues within it. With student financial aid, there are a ton of different items that we have to test within each of the individual areas. So you'll see it called out with a similar header with special tests and provisions disbursements to or on behalf of students. So with the first issue that we had when we went through our financial aid testing was this was a leftover from the prior year. And what happened is there's certain notifications that need to go out to students within 30 days of dispersing federal funds. And there was a system glitch last year that caused some of that not to happen. Well, based upon the timing of when that was found, the college, there was still some lingering items related to it in the current year. And so this is a result of that. So out of the 60 students that we tested, there were 3 that we noted that didn't receive that timely notification. And so because of that, we were required to report it. But we felt it only rose to the level of significant deficiency in internal control, which is the lowest level related to the findings that you can have. The next item that we had related to one of the students that we tested out of the 60 that we took a look at. For Pell this year, what they did was they changed how Pell was awarded. So they changed the formula in it. And I will say I typically don't have Pell findings. This year I have Pell findings in probably about half the institutions. And unfortunately, with Mount Hood, they were one of them that we did have. And so out of one student that we tested out of the 60, there was an incorrect amount that was awarded related to Pell. And so that was another item that we had to show as a finding. The third item related to return of Title IV funds. So if a student withdraws, they're required to go through a certain formula and determine how much needs to go back to the institution, how much needs to go back to the federal government. It looked like the calculation when we went through and did our testing. So we went through 60 students, and out of one of them, when we went through, the calculation was done correctly. However, the student account was not updated correctly. And so because of that, we were required to report it. And so all of them were very one-off type findings that we had, and management does have a corrective action plan related to all of them. So hopefully next year we won't have any. As far as the financial statements go, we were able to issue an unmodified opinion on this one as well, for the financial statements. And so this is on page 17 through 20 of the financial statements. One of the things we do like to call out is the fact that there are significant estimates that are included in the financial statements of the college. So these relate to the allowance for doubtful accounts, your pension liability, your OPEB liability, as well as compensated absences this year. So this year there was a new standard that was effective, and it's called GASB 101. And so what this required was any compensated absences that were more likely than not, and that's what created the estimate, more likely than not to be paid out. Those are required to now come on the books of the college. And so a lot of the vacation and everything had always been accrued for. However, now items like sick leave are required to come on if based upon the analysis, it looks like they're more likely than not to be accrued for. And so if you look on notes 12 and 1 in the financial statements, you'll see disclosure about this. We also have an emphasis of a matter paragraph in the opinion, because beginning net position was adjusted for this, for the additional liability, the additional beginning balance related to the compensated absences coming on the books. And so I believe that was about 5.8 million in additional liability that came on the books as of 6/30/24, and then the 6/30/25 wasn't much more, but that did come on the books this year as a result of that standard. The other two opinions that we issued as a result of our audit, within Oregon, there's certain Oregon regulations that we're required to take a look at. We're required to look and see if the college is in compliance with it. We were able to issue an unmodified opinion or a clean opinion on this as well. We did not have any issues related to this year, and so you'll see that on pages 133 through 134 of your financial statements. The last opinion that we issued is our opinion on internal control over financial reporting. And so we're not required to go through and test internal controls. However, if anything comes up during our testing where we feel it warrants a finding or, bringing to the level of governance, then this is where we'd have the opportunity to talk about it. And so if there would have been any breakdown internal controls related to any financial statement, adjustments, any significant past adjustments, any breakdown in processes when we go through and do our walkthroughs, this is where we'd have the opportunity to talk about it. We didn't have any of that in the current year. Again, management at Mount Hood they do a really good job, and then they reach out to us throughout the year. And so I think all of that helps with the process. And so that is a clean opinion and an unmodified opinion. And so we didn't have any adjustments as a result of our audit procedures this year, and we didn't have any past adjustments that we were required to report as well. So everything was very clean. There's just a couple items to fix on student financial assistance, but we really do appreciate everyone's help getting through the audit. Any questions?
Thank you, Kristen. Is there any questions for Kristen? Do you have a question?
I don't have any questions at this time, but things might come up later.
Mhm.
I'm wondering if I could send them later if I do have any.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Great. With no questions, thank you, Kristen, for your presentation. Appreciate you walking through those items with us.
Yep, thank you.
All right. Next we'll move to item 6.3, bond update, and I'd like to invite Jennifer DeMitt to give us a presentation.
All right. I'm on. So I just have a few updates. Things aren't moving. I think things are speeding up. But the holidays since last month, not a whole lot happened. One of the updates I wanted to share with you was an update on our aquatic center enclosure. I don't know if anybody frequents the pool or has been over there, but if you peek out the window, it's kind of a mess. There's a whole lot of dirt and construction vehicles and stuff like that going on. So what we're doing is putting 132 concrete pilings around the pool that will provide the underground support for the structure. It's much slower going than what we had in our initial timeline. We're having to do a few of them and then have the city come out and inspect them, which is also taking time. The structure will be all the stronger and the pool will be better supported because of it. But right now we're looking at potentially it being mid-March before those pilings are done and then starting the construction of the enclosure. And we're actually exploring some alternatives that might allow us to pause and do our outdoor events and then come back to the enclosure. So more to come on that, but just thought that you might hear there's a lot of people in the community that are really passionate about the pool. So I wanted everyone here to have an update. The other thing is we have a request for proposals out for architectural and engineering right now. So that's open. We divided the projects into 4 buckets, which are very similar to what you saw in our bond advertising. The idea is that an architectural engineering firm can bid on 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of those buckets. So we'll probably end up with more than one firm responding. And so really excited about that because once those people are on board, we can start really digging into the details of the projects. And one, because the picture is worth 1,000 words, we're wrapping up the siding project at Visual Arts 11. So this is one of our worst buildings. This is the before picture. I have to show you this because you could probably poke your finger through the siding. It used to be like a screwdriver. You could poke a screwdriver through, but I'm pretty sure we're to the point where you could poke a finger through. This roof was leaking. So they worked with the faculty to choose some siding colors. Let's see if it'll let me scroll down. And we're still trimming out the windows, but this is how it looks now. So nice metal siding, brand new roofing, new windows. So this is just kind of, and this is another picture. It's harder to see on here, but I just want to show like the transformation of like 1970 art village to still kind of a funky art village, but new materials, waterproof enclosures. So it'll be exciting as we start going through the campus and some of these areas that were really just eyesores. We get updated and people feel proud about being able to go and use that space. And I'm happy to take any questions. If we have our bond steering committee, so the internal committee is now scheduled for February, as well as the oversight committee. So those are ready to kick off and things are starting to move.
And that'll be the first meeting for the oversight committee?
Yes.
Awesome. Cool. Any questions for Jennifer? All right. Thank you, Jennifer. Next item is the consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Moved.
Moved by Mohammed. May I have a second? Second by Diane. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Larry, did we get you?
Yeah, aye.
Okay, thank you. All right, any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. Next item is the Mount Hood Community College District Agreement with Mount Hood Community College and Oregon School Employee Association, Chapter 603. I'd like to invite Ross Hume to present the Mount Hood Community College District Agreement with Mount Hood Community College and Oregon School Employee Association, Chapter 603. And Ross, go ahead, or Terry, go ahead.
Ross's assistant, Terry.
Okay.
So you have a vote before you, and I am here to recommend that the board approve the contract between the college and the OSEA.
Sorry, I was. Um, you ready for questions?
Sure.
Okay. Are there any questions for Terry?
Move to approve.
All right, we have a motion to approve the agreement. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Will. All right, all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next item is 7.3 academic calendar second reading, and I'd like to invite Tina Red to present the second reading of the 27-28 academic calendar. And Tina, you can go ahead when you're ready.
This is the second reading. The calendar has been approved by Faculty Senate and President's Cabinet. There's nothing, you have it in your packet, and there's nothing unusual about that. So I recommend that we move ahead and approve the calendar.
Awesome. Thank you, Tina. Are there any questions for Tina before we vote? All right, hearing none. May I have a motion to approve the 27-28 academic calendar?
Approve the 27-28 academic calendar.
Moved by Diane. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mohammed. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you,
Thank you.
Tina. Next item is 7.4 board vacancy. And we have received one application to fill the vacant board position for Zone 4. And this evening we have our candidate here, and we have prepared questions, just 3 questions to run through with the candidate, and then we can take action if we so choose. And so, Timur, I'd like to invite you up to join us.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Good evening. So we have about 15 minutes if we go allotted. So we had 3 questions. I think they might have been sent to you in advance.
I neglected to check my email.
Okay.
My apologies.
Okay. Well, we just had 3 questions. One was tell us a little bit about yourself. And then the second question was please describe your connection to higher education and what inspires you to serve on the MHCC board. And then the third question was please give the board an overview of your connection and experience engaging with diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I can read them back as we go through them. But if you'd like, maybe just start off and tell us a little bit about yourself.
There you go.
Test. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Again, my name is Timur Ender, he, him pronouns. I am a parent of 2 kids, live in East Portland, Zone 4. I have lived in Zone 4 for about 8 years now. Passionate about public health. I have managed infrastructure projects at the city of Portland for about 5 years. Things like paving, sidewalks, street trees, traffic signals. And so that the ability to work on infrastructure projects has been kind of my professional connection to East Portland, as well as kind of other personal connections as well. First in my family to be born in the U.S., first generation Turkish American. What else should I say about myself? I previously ran for city council in East Portland, and so through that process, had the privilege of connecting with board members like Shatoya Bentley and others. Was proud to support the Mount Hood Community College bond efforts. And in terms of my kind of other kind of activities, served on the board of Multnomah County Public Health Advisory Board and Oregon Walks, which is a nonprofit focused on eliminating traffic fatalities and making it safer for people who walk. And served on the City of Portland's Community Board for Police Accountability. And other things about me, I am multimodal, transit dependent, and millennial, and live in a multilingual household of Spanish. I'm not sorry, Chinese and Turkish, and yeah, that's a short version of me.
Awesome. Thank you. And then could you please describe your connection to higher education and what inspires you to serve on the Mount Hood Community College Board?
Sure. If you asked me 3 years ago if I was interested in this board position, my answer would have been no. What changed for me was in 2024, February, we welcomed a 3-year-old foster child into our house. And that experience of parenting a high needs child and trying to figure out childcare and dealing with a state bureaucracy was a very challenging time. I've done a lot of hard things in my life, and that was one of them. And kind of, there were a lot of fun moments, but in terms of like the logistics of parenting this child, one of the bright spots in Oasis for me was after a number of months, finally landing a spot at Knott Head Start, which is overseen by Mount Hood Community College. And that was such a wonderful experience to have that community and to know that that he was well taken care of there. Because of this foster child's high needs, he had a full-time aide that was assigned to him. And that was one of the challenges of other locations is they wouldn't accept another person to be with him. That just wouldn't. Long story short, he got kicked out of a lot of places and he was only 3. And so with Mount Hood Community College, he was able to have his full-time aide there and course correct some of his behaviors. And so he started the year, biting and hitting, and he ended the year with kissing and hugging. And so it was a very, and then right when he ended Mount Hood Community College in June of 2025 was also when he transitioned out of our home into his forever home with great parents, which was always the plan. And so that's kind of my personal connection to Mount Hood Community College. And just having that wonderful experience motivated me to kind of be interested in this position.
Awesome. Thank you. And then could you please give the board an overview of your connection and experience with engaging with diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Sure. If I had 10 minutes to prep, but I would have done a lot more, but I'm just going to a little bit off the cuff here. At the City of Portland, where I have worked professionally for about 6 years, I led focus groups with business owners in East Portland and African immigrants and refugees to understand barriers to walking and biking. Through that process, we did other focus groups as well. And one of the things we realized was there's a concern about not just traffic safety in the right of way, but personal safety. And for a lot of the people that kind of worked in city government, this was kind of a mental shift because previously we had thought about our role as only focusing on traffic safety. But through these focus groups and other efforts, we were able to see we're also stewards of public space. And so that, long story short, what that did was there was a significantly more intentional effort in our capital improvement plan for street lighting and improving the perceptions of safety in the public right of way. Had the privilege of engaging on the Portland Bureau of Transportation's kind of racial equity plan. Another thing I did as a project manager at the city was when we had large capital projects, historically what the city would do was kind of do a design bid build process and basically put that $6 million project out to bid. And one of the things that I was able to do with the projects I was leading was, okay, we're going to separate out the curb ramps and we're going to give the curb ramps to this contractor. We're going to give the paving to this contractor. We're going to give the striping to this contractor. And what that did was contractors that would otherwise be subcontractors, they were now the prime for that. And then they were able to kind of level up and chase larger projects. It kind of this idea of this kind of prime contractor development program. And what that did was increase the diversity of the contracting pool and make it more competitive for women and veteran and Black-owned businesses to successfully chase and secure city contracts. And so those are kind of some of the examples. Really proud of my personal and professional history doing DEI work at the city of Portland. And I'm happy to elaborate later. This is just kind of just off the cuff right now. So that was just one example.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And then I'd like to just open up to my colleagues to see if there's any follow-up questions for Timur. Will or Larry? All right. I'd like to just open the floor up for discussion and then we can move forward on nomination and voting, but wanted to just see if anyone had any comments that they wanted to share before we move forward.
Andrew, I have one.
Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
I thought the timing for, getting other candidates is great. I think that his lived experience and I think what he would bring to the board would be great. So I feel very comfortable moving forward. I'm happy to make a motion if that's helpful.
Great. Thanks, Larry. Anyone else have any comments to share?
Yes, I read your letter of interest and your resume, and because diversity, equity, and inclusion is so important to us, we've worked really hard as a board to implement an equity lens that impacts all of our decisions. And so that was the one area I really wanted to make sure that you had some experience and that you understood issues of DEI, and which can be complex. But so when I saw that you had, in project manager, that was a focus, that made me very happy.
Great to hear. Thank you. I also, Andrew, just wanted to highlight, since submitting this application, I did have the chance to meet with some leaders of the faculty union, such as Sarah Williams. And so just wanted to mention that. And then also this spring, I'll be participating in the Oregon Labor Candidate School, which is kind of a training program for candidates and people in elected positions who are supportive of labor.
Great. Thank you. Mohammed?
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Timur, for applying. And I mean, although you're the one candidate we have tonight, I mean, it's impressive what your resume showed as far as your involvement in the city and other programs. And you seem to have a really good grasp of the political side of it, of campaigning and running campaigns. So it's going to be great for when you actually run, when the term is over. So I'm excited for that too. And I just wanted to say that I also welcome the idea of moving forward with Timur. It's a great value add to our board with all the experiences, personal and professional. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, if there's no other comment, I'd like to entertain a motion to appoint Timur Ender to fill the vacant board seat for Zone 4.
So moved.
Moved by Diane.
Second.
May I have a second? Second by Larry. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then next, I'd like to invite Dr. Scari to conduct the oath of office.
Okay. This is Dia Ender, and then great. Okay. Do you want me to just read it?
No, I have a full script.
Okay, great.
Great. So, Tamar Ender, you have been appointed to serve the citizens of Mount Hood Community College District as member of the Board of Education. As an appointed member of the Mount Hood Community College District Board of Education, you shall fulfill your duties as follows. You shall exercise your authority only when acting collectively with your fellow board members. You will exemplify the highest standards of ethical behavior and conduct in all board duties. You will be prepared to participate in open, honest, and civil deliberation with your colleagues, vote your conscience rather than advance any special interests, and support the decisions and policies made by the board. You will honor the division of responsibility between the board and the president and contribute to creating a spirit of true cooperation and a mutually supportive relationship in our support of our community. And you will support and uphold the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America and the state of Oregon. And now I ask that you read your vote.
Sure, happy to. I'll raise my right hand. I, Tamar Ender, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and the laws of the state of Oregon, and the policies of the Mount Hood Community College District. During my term, I will faithfully and impartially discharge the responsibilities of the office to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And welcome to the board.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Cool. Where would you like me to sit? Should I sit back here or?
I'll let you go front.
Cool.
Slide on over.
Okay. I just want to make one quick statement, which
Sure.
is Zone 4 is incredibly diverse and it has over 65 languages represented. My appointment today is the first time that there has been someone of Turkish descent on any public body in the history of the state of Oregon. So thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Scari, and then welcome to more. Next, we'll move to board member and committee liaison reports. And then before we do that, we'll review the draft agendas for winter board retreat and the regular session.
Um, could I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. As you guys see, I am facilitating a couple of portions on there, and you will see an email from me because that is where a lot of the brainstorming will happen, and workshops will happen for us to just get to know each other and build collectively as a board. And so more description will be in your email. So make sure you look at your email.
Any questions on the board retreat agenda or anything to add? We can go to the regular session, Roxanne. Yeah, and I think next month is kind of skinny because we also have the retreat, so we're covering items that might have been at the regular board meeting. Any comments on the regular agenda from February? Okay. Now we'll hear board member and committee liaison reports from board members. Please work to keep your comments to about 3 minutes per person. Shatoya, would you like to start us off?
I'm so glad I wrote down mine. Thank you. So on, was it sometime last week? I think on, Thursday last week, I attended the Association of Community College Trustees Impact and Success Committee. And it was a welcoming to the new committee members for the new year. And this is going on my second year, which will be my last year on the committee. And some of the things there were to get prepared for DC, the DC's meeting, and they have been working on the ACCT's strategic priorities that would specifically have impact and success in it. And more so moving towards having a toolkit for other community colleges to follow. And so there's a couple of priorities that are in it as far as communications, workforce, and I can't think of the third one, but those are, and policy. So policy, workforce, and communications are the 3 areas of focus where impact and success will be prioritized in ACCT's strategic priorities for impact and success. And so, yeah, it's at the bones of it. And I also raised awareness of, yes, I am in a Democratic state. Well, it's mainly led by Democrats, but we definitely have a lot of folks that are part of ACCT that are ran by Republicans or independents. So making sure that we have a toolkit that could be represented in all areas and not just things that looks very suitable for our needs in the blue states areas. So yeah, I'm excited for DC and to see peers alike and get deeper into the ACCT stuff.
Great. Thank you, Shatoya.
Mhm.
Diane Noriega?
My report will be very short. I represented the board on the audit committee, and I warned you, it's not my forte. So, a lot of what was said, I was, trying really hard to keep up. But one of our long-term members on the audit committee was very, very happy and grateful that the report was done so well this year. And so that I found that to be very reassuring. So anyway, and then because I'm Annette's backup on the foundation, representing the foundation, I will be attending those meetings now as a board representative.
Awesome. Thank you, Diane. Will, would you like to go next?
I would love to. Good evening, folks. Apologies I can't be with you in person this evening. It's been a pretty great month. I'm excited for next month. Like Shatoya mentioned, attended with many of the other board members the legislative breakfast that the students held with legislators in the region. It was really great to see many East County representatives and senators attend the event and be in community with our students. gave me a lot of hope. I'm excited for the lobby days coming up next month through the legislative short session. Attended the advocacy committee meeting where we talked about state and federal issues and what's on the horizon. And just today met with President Scari, had a really great conversation, and just want to end with personally welcoming Timur to the board. It's an honor to serve alongside you. Representation matters, and I'm excited to work alongside you in this process. So welcome, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Will. Mohammed.
It never gets easy, no matter how long you've been here. So thank you, Andrew. I'll echo what my colleagues have said. It was a privilege actually to join the legislative breakfast with the students and our legislators and other colleagues on the board. It's kind of not what I expected. It's usually those folks spend most of the time speaking. In this case, it was the students leading the way, which was great. Refreshing to see that, and looking forward to having more of that in DC when students share their stories in order to get advocacy and support from our congressional delegation. I had also the honor of attending. I was invited to an MLK breakfast honoring the legacy and work of Dr. Martin Luther King, and acknowledging that although he had a dream, we're not there yet, and we keep going back. And hopefully, though, there are folks who are pushing back, and nationally, the country is still moving towards that. The vision and his dream of having an equitable society. It was inspiring to see all those people celebrating in the midst of the trauma across the country, and having all the legislators and lawmakers there supporting and reinforcing the work together. So that was nice. And then I had the pleasure of attending the Gresham Chamber of Commerce Business Leaders Luncheon with Dr. Scari and other members of the cabinet. Jennifer was there, and that was also great to see on a local level. Some highlights and preview into the short session in Salem and what that could mean for some of the expected outcomes and what things can get pushed to the next session. So thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed. Larry had to drop off for a work calls, but he said he didn't have anything major to report for the group. So just wanted to note that. And then for my report Will kind of covered a lot of my stuff too. Attended the advocacy committee with him and Larry. We kind of focused in on the trip to DC, but then also just the short session as well. Thinking about the CTE day also on the 18th next month. And then also attended the legislative breakfast, and similar to Mohammed, like very impressed with Jeffrey being there as the student body president, and kind of the other students sharing their stories. I think when I see the students sharing their stories, it's always an amazing, diverse cross-section of stories and history. And it, for me, it's what inspires to keep returning to do this work on the board. So that was really impactful. And then was also in attendance at the Oregon President's Council. So Dr. Scari's kind of cohort of presidents, as part of my duties as OCCA president this year. They're talking about somewhat similar issues, but at a different angle than we talk about them as board members. But always engaging to hear their conversation and hear what's kind of going on for them, and then how that crosses paths with some of our policy work and some of our work as board members. And that concludes my report. We'll now hear closing reports and updates from our advisory representatives, and I'd like to make a reminder to please keep your comments to policy and program matters only. And thank you, and we look forward to hearing your updates. And first off is Jeffrey with the ASMHCC representative report.
Good evening, board members. As we start off this winter term, ASMHCC has hit the ground running with helping students and improving experiences on here on campus. Currently, we are in the process of recruiting the 2026-2027 ASMHCC positions. We have the president and vice president positions open right now, and we are currently encouraging students to apply. Our hope is to have the elections done by spring break. On January 7th, as many of you guys talked about, we had our annual legislative breakfast. We had an amazing turnout of legislators and their staff. I want to thank Dr. Scari, Andrew, Mohammed, Shatoya, and Will for all coming. It was amazing to have your guys' support there. On January 15th, we partnered with the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion in the President's Office and the Multicultural and Diversity Resource Center to carry out an event to honor Martin Luther King Jr. We had 188 students attend this event, and we had the Vanport Mosaic show clips of the Vanport project and how it affected the lives of the people in the Portland area at that time. Finally, we want to invite you all on January 27th and 28th to our Winter Club Fair and the Student Union from 11 to 1. This event is a really good opportunity for students to connect with each other, get to learn more about the clubs we offer here on campus, and provide recruitment opportunities for our clubs. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
What's the date for the Winter Club Fair?
January 27th and 28th.
Okay, thank you.
There's a flyer for it on the bottom of my report for student development.
Thank you.
All right. Next up is the full-time faculty report. And Sarah, would you like to join us?
Thank you. As you heard from Cheryl, we started bargaining yesterday, so that's, taking a lot of attention. But we're excited to move forward and hopefully have a speedy bargaining this time. The other kind of, board level conversation that I had was, it's my understanding that our political affairs officer, Josh Stratman from Health Physical Education, is working with Roseanne to arrange the program highlights presentations that we had discussed for the board for upcoming board meetings. So I'm really looking forward to seeing those and what comes to you. Certainly open to feedback or specific requests for things you'd be really interested in knowing about programs or specific programs you'd be interested in hearing from. And then I have my new spotlights of faculty. So I want to tell you about Laura Kutner in ABE-GED. She is the co-author of an award-winning children's book, The Soda Bottle School. I cannot speak tonight. It's been a long day. The Soda Bottle School. She has won the Sustainable Oregon Award in 2023 and the Recycler of the Year Award in 2019 from the Association of Oregon Recyclers. She is the founder and executive director emeritus of the award-winning nonprofit Trash for Peace, and the co-founder of the nonprofit Ground Score Association, which is an association of informal recyclers, canners, dumpster divers, and other waste pickers who create and fill low-barrier waste materials management jobs in Portland, Oregon. They are collectively organized and radically inclusive, prioritizing work opportunities for those facing work and housing insecurities. And then the second faculty that I would like to highlight for you today is Brady Carey from our communications department. Every quarter, he hosts a ComTalk podcast, bringing the MHCC community together for an engaging conversation about communication, culture, and personal growth. Through this series, Brady Carey and the communication department create an open space where theory meets real life. ComTalk serves as a platform for emerging student voices. At each event, students take the stage to share their stories, spoken word pieces, creative writing, and photography, offering powerful glimpses into their identities, passions, and lived experiences. By uplifting these voices, the podcast celebrates the diversity that makes our community vibrant and resilient. So, thank you for your time.
Great. Thank you, Sarah. Next with the CA report, Corey, would you like to join us?
Good evening. Thank you for allowing the time to speak here today. I don't have a huge amount to report from the classified staff. We're just breaking into the third week of the term. But this week was a shortened week for most of us. We celebrated and hopefully reflected on Dr. Martin Luther King this Monday. And one of the things that I find that's important amongst the many about the leader of leaders is he was also involved in the labor movement. He believed that civil rights and economic justice were tied together. So I think it's fitting that this very meeting we started off, and I would like to provide a hearty congratulations to my colleagues in Head Start for a successful contract. I think that when we resolve contracts and provide fair wages, that's one of the best things we do within this community. It allows for our employees to meet and engage and build the fabric that we need, and provided the impetus for our newest board member to join us. So also congratulations on your appointment. It was no less than a week ago that we had a conversation. How lucky are we that Head Start is associated with our name? And that's just one example of the good works that our employees do in one of the several associations here. So the last piece that I would say is, in congratulating a successful and early completion of a contract, I hope that we can continue to do the same. And I wish our faculty utmost success, because when they succeed, we all succeed. Our students succeed. Same when classified have a settled contract. And that also allows us to get on with the business of getting on. So thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Corey. Marilyn, I see you online. Would you like to go next?
Sure. Although I'm hard pressed to provide anything of the same quality that Corey just did. Hoorah, Corey, I appreciate your thoughts. The only things I want to mention to the board members is, especially the newer folks, each term we create a PFTA newsletter, and it goes out electronically to everyone in our bargaining unit, and we actually mail it to the homes of the people who are working in the current term. And also, I will be sending it, and if everything goes well, by the end of next week, I'll be sending it to Roxanne so that she can distribute it to all of you and Dr. Scari. So I hope you'll look forward to seeing that, getting a few insights into the sort of information that we try to make sure is shared with everyone within our bargaining unit. And then the second thing is, and if you've been on the board before, you know about this, but each term, actually, we've stopped doing it during summer term in an effort to save money. By the way, board members, these things are covered by member dues, so it's not coming from the college budget at all. But the other thing I want to let you know about is we'll be having an open house at the PFTA office. It'll be February 11th and 12th, and it's from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And you might go, well, that's a long time for an open house. And trust me, being the primary person who's there, ready to welcome people, you are right if you're thinking that. But we know that our people teach and tutor mornings, afternoons, and evenings. And some of them are primarily Monday, Wednesday. Some of them are primarily Tuesday, Thursday. So we try to have an open house where, whoever wants to come for some free pizza, some, yummy baked goods, and an opportunity to ask questions and meet with some of their colleagues, they can attend. And if some of you board members are on campus during that time, you would be welcome to stop by. Our room number is 2397D, and it's just as you walk from the boardroom in which you are, and if you go right, before you get to the place to turn left to go out to the parking, you will have passed our office. So you would be welcome to stop by. I'd love to meet some of you in person. I am still being what I warmly call COVID cautious. And so I am I am pleased that we have the Zoom option so that I can participate and yet feel safe, basically. So, and welcome to you. I wrote your name down, Tim. Tim, I didn't catch your last name. Is it Moore or Moore-Ander?
Test. It's Timur Ender, kind of pronounced like Baltimore.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry to take the time to do this, but I value people's names and I want to honor you and the correct spelling. So how do you spell it?
Sure. It's Timur space Ender, like Ender's Game, Ender. You wouldn't be the first one. I was featured on the news once as Tim Urender. So it's Timur.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, that's it for me, Andrew.
Thank you, Marilyn. Appreciate it. Next up is executive leadership, and the executive leadership has included their monthly division reports in the board packet, and then we'd like to offer them an opportunity to share any updates that may not have been included in their written reports. And I will start off with John Hamblin. Do you have? There we go.
I also mentioned this too. We did put the student life events on the very last page as well too. We'll include that in advance, so you're welcome to join us for those events as well too.
Thank you, John. Any questions for John? And next up is Tina. Tina, do you have anything to add?
And let you know that I was able to attend the Oregon Music Education Association conference this weekend, where Dan and Danielle Davies were honored as outstanding contributors to music education in the state and beyond. It was really quite touching to see them receive that award. They got a standing ovation. And today the deans and I entertained the first step in new programs, and they presented what they'd like to move forward, which is a technical music certificate for production.
Awesome. Thank you, Tina. Are there any questions for Tina?
No, I just want to say congrats to the Davies. The music is beautiful. I've been to the Teddy Bear Parade and was able to ride with them. So
they're great.
Yeah.
And Dan's jazz band played Friday night. People were still talking.
Yeah.
Awesome. Jennifer, do you have any update? Or Jennifer Bomer, do you have any updates for advancement?
That next week we have our full foundation board meeting, and we will be placing 2 names before the board to vote as new board members, and one is Matt Miller, who is with Gresham Sanitary, and the second is a person you all know very well, Annette Matson. Would like to join the foundation board, so we're very pleased to get to vote on those 2 individuals. Our goal this year is to bring 5 new board members on, and we've accomplished 3 so far, so 2 more to go.
So net lasted
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Jennifer DeMitt, do you have anything to add? Any questions for Jennifer? Well, I guess either Jennifer. I didn't ask it for Jennifer Bomer. Any questions? All right. Next up is President's Report. Dr. Scary?
Thank you. So I'm happy to provide the first update of the year and talk a little bit about the progress we've made so far this year. But I want to start off by welcoming you again to the board, and I realize you're sitting there right now not having all the materials in front of you, so we'll get that for you coming shortly. Your inbox is going to be full. But we're happy you've joined us. And as you may have heard, once you're a board member, you're part of the family, and once a saint, always a saint. So we expect to have you involved with us for many years to come. And again, I just want to thank you all again for stepping up, stepping in, and doing the incredibly important service role for our college. You make a difference on this campus and in the community. So again, thank you so much. I'm happy to share our enrollment is up again this term. We're sitting right now at about 2.5% up, and that's in our 4-credit tuition paying students. I think that's really a testament to the college's collective shared interest in serving our community and providing outstanding education. And this uptick in enrollment not only demonstrates the growing interest in our programs, but also signals the trust that families actually have and students place in us. At the same time, as you might expect, we have seen a drop off in our non-credit programs, specifically our English as a second language programs, and that is currently down 27% this term. But our success is not measured in numbers alone. I just want to point out this. Thank you to the board members that were at the Student Legislative Breakfast. I love that event. I love seeing the students engage with legislators, and some of them, right, it's their first opportunity to actually talk to the person that represents them or a person who represents them. And hopefully we begin to kind of demystify that whole thing. But thank you for your support, and just my compliments to all the student services staff. And I see Dave back there for supporting the students in that. We had the largest turnout of legislators and legislative staff since I've been here. And I truly believe that it's having the students at the core of that makes them want to come. Also, the MLK event celebration was wonderful. The Vanport Mosaic was quite touching because in addition to sharing a film and having some stories, we had members of our community that were either residents or descendants of Vanport, and one of them actually shared their own personal story. And so it's important, right, to remember our history and to be mindful of it, but also carry the messages forward. And so I was happy that we were able to showcase that here and celebrate it on MLK Day. And as we celebrate these achievements, we know that there is so much more we can do, but our strength really is in our unity. So I look forward to working with each of you this year, collectively together, as we figure out how we can not only grow in numbers, but also in our impact on this community. So thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Before we adjourn, I just wanted to congratulate and thank you to Tamora for joining the board and applying and just stepping forward. I know that like in the past, we've had a hard time recruiting in that district. And so just excited to have you participating with us and engaging. It's very meaningful to have just your governance is an important thing and a passion of mine, and it's not always the most exciting thing, but to have someone who has experience with local government, I think is very valuable. So excited to have you on. All right, with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Will. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. And then all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone. All right.
Welcome.